Imagine your company's data as a fancy museum filled with priceless artifacts such as financial records, customer info, and that funny cat video everyone loves. Security controls are the guards, cameras, alarms, and even the strategically placed banana peels that keep those artifacts safe. Okay? Maybe not banana peels, but you get the fun idea. Categories of security controls are managerial controls, operational controls, and technical controls. First, managerial controls. Imagine managerial controls as the grand architects of an institution or company's security landscape. These controls are essentially the big picture guidelines that shape how a company approaches security. They're not about the nitty-gritty details, but rather the overarching strategies and principles. Think of them as the constitution of security, a set of fundamental rules and policies that everyone in the company must follow. These controls are typically crafted by the administration and security experts, focusing on how to best manage and mitigate risks. You won't find these controls in the form of fancy gadgets or software. Instead, they're usually documented in hefty policy, manuals, and strategic plans. Managerial controls are the policies, procedures, guidelines, and standards that define how an organization manages its security. Think of these as the rules of the club. Key managerial controls in cybersecurity are assessing risks and vulnerabilities. Risk assessment is one of the crucial managerial controls in the security toolkit. Think of it as the organization's crystal ball helping to predict and prioritize potential threats. It's like having a security weather forecast, allowing companies to prepare for the storms ahead. Risk assessments come in two flavors: quantitative risk assessments and qualitative risk assessments. 1. Quantitative risk assessment is the numbers game of risk management. It's like putting a price tag on potential threats. Imagine you're running a lemonade stand, and you calculate how much money you'd lose if someone stole your lemons. That's quantitative risk assessment in a nutshell. It translates risks into cold, hard cash. 2. Qualitative risk assessment is more about gut feelings and expert judgments. It's like rating the scariness of monsters in a haunted house from meh to run for your life. Organizations use this method to categorize risks based on how likely they are to occur and how much damage they could cause. If risk assessments are the crystal ball, vulnerability assessments are the annual physical for your security posture. They're all about finding the weak spots in your defenses before the bad guys do. Think of it as a game of find the hole in the fence. Security experts poke and prod at the organization's systems, looking for any gaps or weaknesses. Once they find these vulnerabilities, it's time to patch them up. This might mean adding new security measures, like putting an extra lock on the door or teaching employees not to click on suspicious emails. By regularly performing these assessments, organizations can stay one step ahead of potential threats, constantly improving their security posture. Second, operational controls. Now, let's move from the boardroom to the front lines. Operational controls are the hands-on, practical measures that ensure an organization's daily activities align with its security policies. Picture a team of vigilant security guards, but instead of just standing at doors, they're spread throughout the organization, making sure everyone follows the security playbook. These controls are implemented by people such as your colleagues, security staff, and even you. They're the living, breathing embodiment of the security policies, turning those high-level managerial directives into tangible actions. Operational controls are the boots-on-the-ground approach to keeping an organization's day-to-day activities in line with its grand security strategy. Awareness and training. Think of this as the Hogwarts of cybersecurity. It's where ordinary employees transform into security-savvy wizards. The importance of this magical training can't be overstated. It's like teaching fish to swim in shark-infested waters. Through training, employees learn the sacred arts of A. Passwords, crafting unbreakable secret codes. B. The clean desk technique, leaving no trace for cyber ninjas to exploit. C. Phishing detection, spotting those sneaky email traps. D. Malware wisdom, recognizing digital nasties in all their disguises. E. Configuration management. This is all about building your systems right from the get-go. It's like starting with a perfect Lego model and making sure no one messes it up. F. Baselines. These are your instruction manuals for building a fortress-like system. G. Change management. This is the watchful eye making sure no one accidentally puts a window where the drawbridge should be. H. Media protection. This control family is all about safeguarding the physical vessels of your digital treasures, such as USB drives, external and internal drives, and backup tapes. USB drives are those tiny, easily lost repositories of secrets. External and internal drives are the treasure chests of your digital kingdom. Backup tapes are the time capsules of your data. Physical and environmental protection. This is where the digital world meets the physical realm. It's about creating a cozy, impenetrable home for your tech. Physical controls such as cameras, the all-seeing eyes of your fortress, door locks, because even in the digital age, sometimes a good old lock and key do the trick. Environmental controls such as heating and ventilation for keeping your tech comfy and not too toasty. Third, technical controls. Last but not least, we have the tech-savvy members of the security family. These are the digital tools and technological solutions that form a protective shield around an organization's assets. Think of technical controls as the high-tech fortress walls and moats of the modern age. They include a wide array of digital defenses, from robust firewalls and intricate antivirus software to sophisticated encryption methods and biometric authentication systems. These controls leverage the power of hardware, software, and even firmware to create formidable barriers against potential security threats. They're the high-tech gadgets in our security arsenal. Once an administrator sets up these controls, they work autonomously to provide continuous protection. Examples include firewalls, antivirus, encryption, IDS, IPS, ACL, and least privilege. Firewalls control incoming and outgoing network traffic based on predetermined security rules. They ensure that only authorized data packets pass through, blocking any unwanted intrusions. It's like having a security checkpoint at every entry and exit point of your network. For example, a firewall can block all traffic from suspicious IP addresses. Firewalls are like the TSA at the airport, but without the long lines and random shoe inspections. Antivirus software detects and removes malicious software. Once installed, antivirus software tirelessly scans for and neutralizes malware threats. It's like having a vigilant health inspector for your computer, constantly checking for and eliminating harmful bugs. For example, antivirus programs scan files and applications for known malware signatures. Think of them as the bouncers who check IDs and kick out anyone causing trouble. Encryption is encoding data to prevent unauthorized access. It acts as a powerful shield to ensure data remains confidential. It secures information both during transmission across networks and while stored on various devices such as servers, desktop computers, and mobile gadgets. Think of it as wrapping your data in an unbreakable code that only the right key can unlock. For example, encrypting emails ensures that only the intended recipient can read the message. It's like speaking in code with your friends to keep your conversations private. Intrusion detection systems or IDS and intrusion prevention systems or IPS monitor and respond to potential threats. IDS and IPS are like the watchful sentries of your network. For example, an IDS alerts administrators to suspicious activities, while an IPS can automatically block malicious traffic. IDS is like a watchdog that barks when there's trouble. IPS is the watchdog that bites. Access control lists, or ACLs, define who can access what within a network. For example, an ACL might allow only HR employees to access personnel files. ACLs are like the guest list at an exclusive party. If your name's not on the list, you're not getting in. Least privilege. The principle of least privilege ensures that users and processes are granted only the access they need to perform their tasks and nothing more. This minimizes the risk of unauthorized access or misuse of privileges. Think of it as giving someone just the right amount of keys they need without handing over the entire keyring. In essence, while managerial controls set the stage and operational controls direct the play, technical controls provide the advanced props and special effects that make the security show a success. Together, these three types of controls create a comprehensive security strategy, each playing a crucial role in keeping an organization's assets safe and sound. Remember, security controls are like a toolbox. You wouldn't use a screwdriver to hammer a nail, and you wouldn't use a weak password to protect sensitive data. Choose the right control for the job and keep your data safe from the digital bandits. Thank you for watching and subscribing.